I had long hoped to do it, since Tom had left me in the hayloft, since Patricia made her announcement, "That boy's gotten himself engaged." All those days spent in my bed with my eyes closed, holding my breath, they were only practice for something more permanent. At the river, the dirt turned to mud, the grass higher than my knees. I threw my nightgown on the bank and hugged 3 stones to my chest. When I stepped in, it was cold enough to burn. The moon barely showed itself. The river cut a trail between the fields. The cold changed to numbness the deeper I went in. There is a place where a person is nothing, where the water is the same as breathing. This was it. And if something in me wanted to stay with the river, I would. Because who says a person can't live more than one life? I ran to the cellar with my backside burning after every one of Father's lessons. It was 1 slap for talking back, 1 for tracking mud in the house, 2 for freeing horses, and for stealing more than I could count. The door to the cellar was a heavy plank. Underneath the wooden steps, cobwebs and jars of everything we saved from the garden, full to the brim and waiting. Father was always quick with his slaps with me. No one else. No one, especially Myrle, who he treated like a queen. If I closed the cellar door and pitched out the wick of my lantern, it was a cold, silent place where I could sit by myself with my knees to my chin. It was dark as dark then, the way it was some nights when I had to hold the rope to the barn to keep from losing my way back. If the air was warm, there wasn't any difference between me and it. My bones and skin, they were gone as easy as pinching wicks, gone as Father wanted me to be. Later, I often found Esther in Myrle's bed, whispering in her sister's ear. Myrle's eyes were open for the first time in days. A rash had spread from her cheeks to her throat, so fevered I yanked the blankets from her. Esther snatched them up again as if I'd done something shameful. And for a moment I did feel ashamed, gazing at my sister laid out in a sweat, her nightgown thin over her breasts and stomach, the skin of her neck hot, I imagined, to the touch. Myrle, our beauty, even in her sickly state. Why, when she was born, none of us could keep our eyes off her, carrying her from room to room as if she were a pet. Mother would have done better. She would never have let Myrle stay so long in her bed. The moment she sensed the door at the top of the stairs was locked, Mother would have come awake. Why, the house might be empty with every one of us in the fields, and several rooms off, Mother could sense a window open just an inch. But I had gone back to bed as if sleep was what needed me most, and now my sisters were missing. Before she died, Mother had taken my hand and craned her neck from her pillow. "You might not have your own, my girl, but those sisters of yours, they'll be everything to you, and you'll be everything to them."